November 1st, 2010, a user named DeadSkinMask uploaded a video to YouTube called "Very Strange House in Minecraft That I Did Not Build." In it, we see Dead join a single-player world to discover a multitude of oddities, including sharp unnatural walls, lighting glitches, and a mysterious red cube that appears for just a few frames. But the most unsettling anomaly of all is a fully stocked house that he's never seen before.
I have never been over here before, and there's torches placed, and look. It's like, look, these chests.
Someone else's building has made its way into a single-player world. This is a very famous Minecraft mystery, and a few weeks ago I released a video discussing it. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it now. This video is a follow-up to that and won't make sense on its own. I'll give you a brief recap of the story. After Dead released his video, he added a link to his world save in the description so that anyone could download it and take a look. He also made a post on the Minecraft forums. Here, another user named Zappa mentioned that this was a world included with a pirated version of Minecraft. Zappa had this same world, although his screenshots of it have been lost to time. 14 years later, a YouTuber named TronySauce managed to contact Zappa, who publicly released his world save. Although it was similar to Dead's version, there were several key differences between the two. My video built upon the work of others, including TronySauce, Enderplays, and Hyperspeed. The bulk of my analysis was focused on comparing these two saves, using technical information buried deep within the files. My goal was to understand why Dead's and Zappa's maps look so different from one another. While I was able to gain a deeper insight into what was different, I was ultimately unable to find a completely satisfactory explanation as to why. But it turns out there's a reason that I got stuck. I was missing a key piece of information, one that was hidden in plain sight the whole time. To find it, we need to return to the very source of the entire mystery, Dead's original video. I went through the video itself, but there's one aspect that I didn't cover, the comments. It is possible to use various tools to look at the earliest comments on the video. We can go all the way back in time to just after the video's release on November 1st, 2010 at 12:13 a.m. Here, we find that Dead was fairly active, responding to several viewers. Some of these provide additional detail. For example, a post from 12:31 a.m. tells us a little bit more about the worlds on Dead's computer. At Daniel Miles 18, nope, I only have 3 worlds. My main world, which is this one, my world I did the Pure Survival series on, which I didn't build anything on, and a snow world that I generated just to have it in case I wanted one. We don't have the initial comment from Daniel, only Dead's response. Nonetheless, this message appears to support the idea that Dead did not have any different worlds with the strange house. Dead confirms this again in 2 later comments. Yeah, I'm guessing that too. I haven't played on any other saves though. Maybe it's from an MP map from back a while ago. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I've never played on anyone else's saves, but someone here downloaded my save and has been exploring around in it. So far, we haven't learned anything new about the mystery, but things are about to get a bit more interesting. Approximately 23 hours after the video was posted, there are 2 comments written by a user named Jedi Outcast Movies. Let me guess, you started playing Minecraft from a pirated copy. I did the same and I have the same save file. The location is from someone else's work. But the basis had a chunk error, making it elevated. Check your post on the Minecraft forums. I'll post some photos of my save. A user posting photos of the strange house on the Minecraft forums? Could this comment be written by Zappa? The answer is yes. Searching the YouTube username reveals a different post, where Zappa discusses his Jedi Outcast machinima movies. This is indeed the same Zappa that would later independently upload images of the strange house, although these screenshots have been lost to time. But it is Dead's response to this comment that's especially intriguing. At Jedi Outcast Movies, you know, you're probably right. The save that came with it, though, dropped me through the world when I loaded in the first time, so I just deleted it and didn't get to see anything. Good call. I knew the internet could solve my mystery for me. This is a very important comment because it provides several key details about what Dead's experience was with this save. Let's break it down and unpack each element. The first important fact is that Dead did initially spawn in the Strange House world. He specifically mentions loading the save that came with it. Recall that a Minecraft alpha save consists of 2 elements. There are a bunch of individual chunk files that store information about the landscape. Then, there's a level.dat file that contains general information, such as the player's inventory and the world seed. It's also what tells Minecraft that a save exists. If there's no level.dat, the slot shows up as empty, even if there are chunk files in the folder. The fact that Dead loaded into the Strange House world initially confirms that there were existing chunks in his save, as we established in the previous video. Since Dead saw the World 1 save file when he loaded the game for the first time, we also know that he started with the correct level.dat, something that I wasn't sure about in my initial video. But there was a problem. When Dead selected the save, it dropped him through the world when he loaded in for the first time. It's not exactly clear what this means, and he does not mention it anywhere else in the comments or the forum post. However, we can be pretty sure that this was some sort of glitch or bug with the game. Whatever it was, the nature was bad enough that it caused Dead to delete the world. We know that level.dat was deleted since Dead's new world has a different seed. We also know that some of the chunks were deleted, but clearly this deletion attempt did not work properly. A portion of the original chunks remained. This information allows us to safely rule out my theories about Dead not receiving all the game files from the torrent. Instead, Dead's description suggests that he was missing parts of the world because of a local glitch that occurred only on his device. This is why Zappa has more Strange House chunks than Dead does. So to solve the very Strange House mystery for good, we need to understand what specifically happened to Dead when he first loaded the world. Taking a step back, we can see that there are really two glitches that need to be explained. The first is what I'll call the world falling glitch, loading into the game and dropping through the world, whatever that means. The second is the delete world glitch, when Minecraft's delete world button partially fails, leaving certain chunks intact. If we can get to the bottom of both the world falling glitch and the delete world glitch, then we'll have figured out what happened to Dead, and we can bring the Strange House mystery to a close. So let's dive in to see what we can find. We'll start with the falling world glitch, because we may already have one recorded example of it happening. After the release of my video, TronySauce uploaded another video that compiled some additional information about the mystery. I've linked it in the description if you want to check it out. It's a great overview that provides additional detail beyond what I've covered. In this video, Trony discusses stumbling across a very similar situation to what Dead described. Trony was kind enough to send me his original footage, recorded in alpha version 1.2.002. Let's take a look. As the recording begins, we're watching the world loading screen. But when the progress bar completes, the game is in a weird state. The game is paused, with the player apparently floating in the void. It appears to be close to the bottom of the world. We can see ghostly chunks popping into existence in the distance, almost as if we're in spectator mode. The saving level indicator flashes erratically.
So, my world just corrupted. Huh.
Trony responds in confusion before returning to the main menu. He then rejoins World 1. His player loads into the game normally, standing on the surface, able to move. There are no issues in sight. In his later commentary, Trony mentions that he made between 60 and 120 alpha worlds, and that this glitch occurred only a single time. He was never able to replicate it, and we're lucky that he happened to be recording. Something like this could have been what happened to Deadskin. This could adequately be described as being dropped through the world. Trony saw this glitch in alpha version 1.2.002, but we know that Dead didn't start on that version. He instead began on alpha version 1.1.0. This is what's seen in his first Let's Play video. So my initial goal was to find a way to replicate the falling world glitch in this version. To begin, I scoured the Minecraft forums looking for any other people describing a similar situation. There are a couple of other users who discuss digging down and falling through a hole. One of these is on multiplayer, but there is an example on single player. I dug for 3 or 4 more blocks and then I fell through into empty space. But while this involves unexpectedly ending up in the void, it's still fundamentally different than what Dead and Trony experienced. It didn't happen upon joining the world. There are some reports of similar situations when joining multiplayer servers, such as TDF Chris, who mentions falling through the ground whenever they load their server. And while several other users corroborate this report, there are many who specifically mention that this does not occur in single player. Furthermore, their version is beta 1.3, after Minecraft changed the alpha level format to MC region. In fact, despite my best efforts, I've been unable to find a contemporary report of a glitch where the player joins a single-player world and immediately falls through it. To the best of my knowledge, all we have is a couple of sentences written by Dead and Trony's brief recording. So instead, I decided to switch gears and look at the other major mystery, the delete world glitch. I mentioned in my first video that there were sporadic reports of situations like this occurring, but none of them contained enough information to be replicable. I had to figure this one out on my own. I knew that the delete world glitch involved Minecraft incorrectly affecting certain files within the save. I had a hunch that perhaps the problem wasn't with Minecraft, but was instead an issue with the save files themselves. My initial thought was to make the files read-only, so I created a new world, exited, and set the entire World 1 folder to read-only. But this attempt failed. The game crashed as soon as I ran it. The error message said, java.lang.runtime exception, failed to check session lock aborting. This was referring to the session.lock file, which is used by Minecraft to ensure that only one instance of the game can open a world at the same time. I excluded session.lock from being read-only and attempted again. But this didn't work either. The game appeared to function as normal. In fact, changes to the world were saved. If I broke and placed blocks and reloaded the game, my modifications would still be there. This shouldn't have been possible, as Minecraft can't modify read-only files. What it apparently can do, though, is remove the read-only attribute. Checking the world files revealed that Minecraft had simply changed them to be writable again, a situation that I didn't even know was possible. My sneaky little trick had been undone. Alright Minecraft, so this is what it's gonna be like. The game was resilient to my simple attempts, so it was time to bring out the big guns, plopping the game into a sandbox. No, not that kind of sandbox, although it is an appropriate metaphor. In real life, a sandbox is a confined area where children can play without causing long-term damage to the environment. They can build and destroy and dig all they want, but as long as they stay within the confines, everything they do can be easily reset by raking the sand. If a kid wants to access something outside the sandbox, such as a new shovel, an adult can choose to give it to them, but otherwise they're confined to that space. We can actually do the same sort of thing to a computer program, running it in a special environment where we can control exactly what the program is able to do. Using a tool called Sandboxy, we can run Minecraft Alpha in such a way that certain files are forced to be read-only, no more changing the metadata to get around it. Using the Sandbox environment, I ran a sequence of experiments, probing for situations that might be related to the delete world or world falling glitches. I replicated my initial attempt, making the entire world read-only except level.dat and session.lock. However, the game loaded and played normally, and I was able to break and place blocks. When I left a world, the game appeared to be saving, but when I returned, none of my changes to the world remained. From this, I learned something important. Having read-only chunks does not cause the game to crash. I was also able to confirm that level.dat does get updated, even if the chunks aren't. Changes to my player's location and inventory were saved. Now that I'd confirmed that read-only chunk files didn't crash the game, I could attempt to replicate the delete world glitch. I did this by making only a portion of the chunk files read-only. The rest could be accessed as usual. Then I clicked delete world. Minecraft was able to delete the files that I didn't touch, but it couldn't delete the ones that were read-only. Despite this, the game did not crash, and within the game, it appeared as though this process had completed successfully. The world was replaced with an empty slot. But when I joined this empty world, the read-only chunks were still there. Deleted chunks had been replaced with new ones, using a new seed from a new level.dat. I had a situation where some of my chunks were from an old seed, and some were from a new one. This was an important step forward, because I'd found a way to replicate the delete world glitch in-game. In a situation where certain Minecraft save files are read-only, it's possible to get a fusion world without actually touching the files themselves. Perhaps most importantly, Minecraft doesn't even know that the process failed. A person playing the game would have no reason to believe that part of the previous world still exists. It may feel somewhat arbitrary that I've locked the files in a sandbox environment, but a situation like this is not as uncommon as you might think. There are several different ways that files can become temporarily read-only. I should note that my explanations here apply to Windows 7. We know that Dead had this operating system because of a tutorial video he shows on its desktop. Files becoming temporarily locked is most common when multiple programs are attempting to open the same file. When a process accesses a file, it gets to choose whether or not to share it with others. It could leave the file open, but it runs the risk of a different program changing it without the first program's knowledge, potentially leading to unexpected behavior. So the first program can instead decide to make the file read-only. Other programs can see it, but not make changes. It's also possible for a program to keep the file entirely to itself, completely preventing other programs from accessing it. In 2010, there was a very common scenario that could have resulted in a program hogging random files: antivirus software. Since the program is attempting to find malware, it's always looking at new files on the computer. When it sees one it hasn't analyzed, it opens it temporarily to scan it, locking the file in the process. In a conversation I had with Deadskin, he mentioned that he had malware bytes on his computer at the time. And while I can't hope to analyze the way that program worked in detail, I was able to find discussions that appear to align with this interpretation. The program locking files as it's scanning them. After all, Dead did just download a new game from the internet with hundreds of files. Malware bytes would have been working overtime to analyze them. If Dead attempted to delete the world while some of the chunk files were being held by the antivirus, then it would have only partially deleted. Dead would have then joined a world that he thought was empty, but actually had remnants from the previous world. There is another possibility. Dead told me that he used uTorrent and qBittorrent, both of which have some reports of files being locked when they shouldn't have been. Since Dead's world was downloaded using one of these clients, this is another way that files might have been temporarily read-only. However, even if this was the case, we've still only found a way to explain the delete world glitch, which is arguably the easier of the two. It's not too hard to theorize that maybe certain files couldn't be deleted. The world falling glitch is a different beast altogether. I tried many different things, such as intentionally corrupting chunks, locking only certain chunks, and zeroing out the block data within the NBT files. But none of it replicated the glitch. And I began to realize just how difficult this might be. A glitch from a 2010 version of Minecraft, where I was only able to find 2 recorded occurrences. This isn't just a regular bug. Instead, it's Bugfoot. Just as Bigfoot is occasionally cited, so too is Bugfoot. A bug so rare that it approaches the level of mythology, yet a bug that some trustworthy people are quite certain they'd seen. I found myself searching for Bugfoot, and I had no idea how I was going to catch it. With the reality of the situation beginning to set in, I plan to end the video here with yet another incomplete conclusion. But through a moment of sheer luck, I happened upon a clue that would change everything. As I was updating my research document, I found myself on the Java Edition Alpha Minecraft wiki page. I was scrolling through the list of versions when I saw something startling, a screenshot in the trivia section. It showed a paused Minecraft Alpha game, and the player was in the void. Even better, chunks were visible in the distance. This appeared to be exactly the situation I was searching to understand. The image was uploaded by a user named Nixonova, who provided more detail in the description. Loading a world while the game is out of focus shows that the player originally spawns in the world at 000 and then gets teleported up. And suddenly, I had a lead. The screenshot was taken in alpha version 1.2.5. I created a new instance of this version. In the main menu, I chose single player. Then I clicked on the first empty slot. Immediately thereafter, I moved my cursor off of Minecraft and clicked on the desktop. This made it so that Minecraft was no longer the program in focus. I waited anxiously for the world to load. I watched as the player spawned in the void. The surrounding chunks began to pop into existence, and as they did, it became clear that we were at the bottom of the world. This was it. This was the glitch that I was looking for. It's the same visuals that were seen in Choney's recorded version of the glitch. In fact, we can see that his cursor was off-screen when the game loaded in. Minecraft did not have focus. The glitch matches Dead's description too. The save that came with it, though, dropped me through the world when I loaded in the first time, so I just deleted it and didn't get to see anything. I checked to confirm that this glitch also works in alpha version 1.1.0. Sure enough, it does. Starting a new world consistently puts us in this situation. But there's actually a problem. While this glitch can be consistently replicated when starting a new world, that wasn't Dead's situation. Instead, this glitch occurred when he attempted to join an existing world, the save that came with the game. We can follow this exact same process but with worlds that already exist, selecting one then immediately clicking elsewhere. And while the game does begin paused, the player is not in the void, they spawn normally. I tested this many times, and I could never get this process to work with an existing world. There must be something else that we're missing. And this brought me to the idea that perhaps the delete world glitch and the world falling glitch are related to one another. We know that the delete world glitch is affected by a world's save files. It fails with files that are read-only. But the world falling glitch is also connected to the save files, albeit in a slightly different way. It only works if there's no save file in the slot. Whether Minecraft thinks there's a save file or not has to do with if it finds a valid level.dat. So the logical next step was to ask if making level.dat read-only could also trigger the world falling glitch. If so, then there could be a way to replicate both glitches simultaneously. I opened up alpha 1.1.0 and created a new world, then saved and exited the game. Then I set up a new sandbox environment. This time, I made level.dat read-only alongside the chunk files. This meant that the game could see everything about the world, but not modify anything. I opened the game with these restrictions, joined the world, and immediately clicked away. Oh, it didn't work. Regardless, it seemed to me that I was on the right track. So I conducted about 40 different experiments, testing combinations of various parameters. I changed whether level.dat was open, read-only, or closed, and I did the same for the chunk files. I tried combinations of chunk files with different access levels, and I tried isolating spawn chunks specifically. And after hours of tinkering, I believe that I found the conditions that allow both the delete world glitch and the world falling glitch to occur together. First, session.lock cannot be read-only. If this happens, you can't play at all. The game immediately crashes upon joining the world. Second, there need to be some save chunks in the folder. These chunk files must be some combination of read-only and open. The third requirement is the most important. Level.dat has to be either read-only or totally inaccessible to the game. This can happen if level.dat is closed, but it can also happen if level.dat doesn't exist at all. When everything lines up in just this way, we can replicate Dead's situation exactly. Let's simulate it. We'll pretend that we just downloaded a bootleg copy of Minecraft. It came with a World 1. Since we've just copied a bunch of new files from the internet, our antivirus software is still in the process of scanning them. To simulate this, we'll make some random chunk files read-only and the rest normal. Level.dat will also be read-only. We launch Minecraft Alpha version 1.1.0. As we start the game, we see that there's a world that's already there. Curious, we click on it. As the game is loading, we click somewhere else on the screen, perhaps to click on that subscribe button down below. When we come back to the game, we're startled to find that we've fallen through the world. There are chunks appearing in the distance, and we seem to be in the void. Something about this world isn't right, so we save and exit, returning to the main menu. Instead of dealing with whatever that was, we'll just delete the world. It appears to work, and we start a new world in the same slot, ready to begin our new Let's Play series. Little do we know that hidden deep within our game files are portions of the original world. We will play on this world normally, for weeks. Our Let's Play series will grow to nearly 30 episodes. But one day, we'll stumble across something shocking, remnants of the world we thought we deleted. We will find a very strange house in Minecraft that we did not build. This is what I believe happened to Dead. If he did end up in a situation where certain files were read-only, then that explains both of the major glitches, the world falling glitch and the delete world glitch. And while a mystery like this can never be completely solved, I believe that this explanation is about as close to it as possible. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This was truly one of the most fascinating mysteries I've ever covered on this channel. What do you think? Did I make a mistake somewhere? Can you replicate this glitch yourself? I would love to hear from you in the comments. You can also join the RGN Discord for a deeper discussion. Also, I'm looking to expand the RGN team. It may not surprise you that these videos take a long time to make, and I would like to find some collaborators to help with the process. I'm specifically looking for editors who are experienced in DaVinci Resolve. However, if you feel that you have another skill set that might be interesting, I want to hear what you're thinking. Send me an email at this address, and I'll take a look at what you've got. We are going to end with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.